the glorious king of Tantras that resolves all secrets. Prologue. I pay homage to glorious Vajrasattva. Thus did I hear at one time. The Blessed One dwelt in equanimity in the womb of the Vajra lady, which is the enlightened body, speech and mind of all Tathagatas. Then the entourage, including the Bodhisattva, Vajragarbha and others, performed 3 circumambulations counterclockwise, made outer, inner and secret offerings, and asked the following. O blessed Vajra holder, what is secret? How is it resolved? What is the meaning of Tantra, and what is its king? The first secret. The Blessed One said, secret is 4-fold. First is the practice of the development stage related to the Vars initiation. I taught meditation on the support and the supported, so that practitioners might relinquish dualistic concepts of a universe and its inhabitants. Its individual features all have an intended meaning. Initially, in other tantras, I taught about emptiness and so forth. Among the particulars of the support and supported, the first concerns the intention behind the support. Imagine that, like one candle lighting another, the syllable hum at the heart projects a black-hued E, which forms a vast, deep triangle. The 3 corners are enlightened body, speech and mind. This signifies the destruction of the 3 poisons. The sides are the 3 liberations. This signifies the destruction of the 10 non-virtues that emerge from ordinary body, speech and mind. The Dharma body is immaculate, and therefore naturally all-pervading. This is the significance of vast. Since even the noble listeners, solitary realizers, and bodhisattvas as well, do not realize the Dharma body, it is explained with intention as deep. Then again, the hum at the heart projects a hum syllable that forms into a Vajra, which forms into a Vajra tent. There are 2 obstacles, first to life and second to liberation. These are the 2 obstructing forces, the outer and the inner. The outer creates obstacles to life. The inner creates obstacles to liberation. The significance of the Vajra tent is that it protects from these 2-fold obstructions. Then Yam, just as before, projects a shape like a half-moon. It provides control over the abandonment of conceptuality and the dawn of non-conceptuality. This is the meaning of domination. Concerning the significance of the 4 flags, I have taught that they signify all things present throughout the 3 times. The triangular fire mandala from Ram signifies wrathful ritual. The 3-pronged Vajra signifies the 3 Buddha bodies. The round water disk from Bam is said to be the cessation of mental activity. The vase is the 4 aspects of the Dharma body. The square golden earth from Lam has the nature of prosperity. The 5-pronged Vajra is the 5 gnosis. The 8 peaks of Mount Meru above that signify the 8 liberations. Symbolizing the absence of conceptuality about an ordinary universe and inhabitants, the 8 charnel grounds should be arranged to the left and right in order. The concepts related to each feature, moreover, should be learned from a master's oral instructions. Symbolizing the power of the antidote fully developed, trees are continuously arranged in sequence. The directional protectors are arranged as symbols for the overcoming of concepts oriented toward the 10 non-virtues. The 8 nagas are stationed to destroy the wicked ones of attachment, hatred, and ignorance. Rain clouds are arrayed so that the body and speech may act for the welfare of beings. With divine pride in the 2 form Buddha bodies, endowed with great compassion. Inner and secret are the same. Likewise, as for the ultimate, the 4th, one should learn the oral tradition. Then, inside, the celestial palace appears. Brahm creates an 8-spoked wheel. The 8 spokes stand for the 8 consciousnesses. The wheel transforms into the body of Vajragarbha. Viewed from the outside, he is luminous inside. Likewise, from inside out, meaning that all appears as one. The 5 kinds of gems symbolize the 5 Buddha bodies. The 5 colors indicate the 5 families. The 4 corners are said to be the 4 pure abodes. The 4 sides are the 4 means of magnetizing. The 4 gates are the 4 foundations of mindfulness. The 8 pillars are the 8 liberations. The 4 beams symbolize the 4 gnoses. All the gate adornments and so forth are said to be the powers and the like. Then, as for the seats inside the palace, they are lotuses born from vowels as seed syllables. The lotus seat indicates not being stained by the afflictions such as passion and so forth. The sun and moon atop the lotuses symbolize skillful means and wisdom. The corpse is taught first for the destruction of the self, or conceptuality. The 4-featured seat of the central deity is given as a seat to each member of the retinue, since they each are an aspect of the central deity. That completes the supportive mandala conjoined with its intended meaning. Next, the deities are generated according to the 4 types of birth. The miraculous manner is to arise instantaneously, like a fish jumping out of water. Birth from heat and moisture is to arise from conditions like a lotus nurtured by the sun. Birth from an egg happens through projection and absorption, like copper produced from stone. Birth from a womb occurs from union, burned from above and formed from below, like a statue created from wax. Vajragarbha is completed with the palace. Later, the Heruka is generated. Conferring initiation is the Blessed One, Akshobhya. Praise is Ratnasambhava. Offering is Amoga Siddhi. Tasting ambrosia is Amitabha. The accomplishments that emerge from these 6 aspects are extraordinary. Then, concerning the recitation or meditation, there are those of superior, mediocre, and inferior faculties. It is said that superior ones are to meditate or recite in full. The mediocre should focus on the central deity in father-mother union. The inferior are to apply themselves to the eyes of the central figure. Having reached stability on the eyes of the central figure, they are to meditate on the 37 features in full. The mediocre are to do likewise. Located in the body are channels. Circulating within them are winds. Mounted on these is the mind. The inferior practice involves shape. The more profound involve mantra and seminal drops, and the ultimate involves Dharma and the 7 parts. Teaching this way is exceedingly profound. Everything taught above should also be understood as fourfold. Each one, moreover, is fourfold. The manifold manner is exceedingly profound. Outer and inner is the meaning of mantra. The mandala image is the outer meaning. Regarding the outer is the inner. The secrecy of just that is the secret meaning. Proficiency is the meaning of perfection. The mandala image is the outer meaning. Inwardly, concerning the characteristics of the mandala, the aggregates, elements, and sense media are each transformed into a deity, either 5, 6, or 37. Left, right, above, below, the gates, and so forth, these should be understood from a master's oral instructions. Then Vajragarbha asked, "What is the completion of the 37? How are they developed? What are their stages? What is the supportive mandala like? And how are the sessions and breaks? How are view and conduct united? Tell me, O spiritual hero." The Blessed One said, "The 37, the pristine cause, give rise to non-dual gnosis, the effect. Therefore the cause, which precedes the effect, is to become the principal deity. Even in just becoming the Haruka, all causes are complete. The 24 locations and so forth should be learned from a master's oral instructions. The effect does not come from a mistaken cause. Barley does not sprout from a grain of wheat, nor does it come from an incomplete cause. There is no sprout from damaged grain, nor without a cause, like fragrance from a space flower. The cause is not a cause without conditions, like a forest fire without wind. The beginner thus endowed with these 4 parts will abandon concepts. Development is said to be done by one who adheres to deity practice. Multiple aspects, external and internal, are explained as its stages. The particular supportive mandala is said to be of 3 types: without courtyard, without canopy, and with canopy according to inclination. Due to the divisions of the 4 chakras, daily sessions are taught as 4. Breaks should also be understood to be 4. It is taught that a practitioner who switches to 22.5-minute hours and meditates in 8 sessions equalizes sessions and breaks. During breaks, practitioners of mediocre and inferior faculties should project the deities in full and properly perform offerings and so forth, like one candle igniting another. View refers to equipoise. Subsequent attainment is explained as conduct. When practicing the development stage, one is permitted to observe the conduct of wearing the 6 adornments. In connection with the secret initiation, one is allowed to observe the conduct of adornments and ambrosia. I have said that those of the Vajra family, the Ratna family, the Padma family, and the Kama family are permitted to observe the conduct. Those connected with the wisdom gnosis initiation have in common what was taught above, and in particular are permitted to observe the conduct of the seal. With either conduct devoid of view or view devoid of conduct, one transgresses the pledges of secret mantra and takes birth as a hell being in endless torment. Therefore, conduct devoid of view should be abandoned. It is the conduct of a hostile demon. Likewise, view devoid of conduct is also to be abandoned. Tormenting the body through austerities and despising the aggregates that are vairocana and so forth is simply the work of a dry intellectual. Consequently, view and conduct are to be unified. When an elephant rises, it rises all together. And when an elephant sits, it sits all together. Vajragarbha then asked, "What is meant by ambrosia? What conduct is associated with it? How do its qualities emerge? Tell me, O central deity, all the meanings of the adornments and the rest." The Blessed One replied, "Ambrosia is taught as threefold. Firstly, one enjoys the outer ambrosia. Arrange the 5 hooks in the 5 ambrosias and the 5 meats. This should begin on the 8th and 14th days of the month. One should then gather sila wood, akshobhya and dry manure. This should begin on the 12th and 16th days of the month. One should then take hiruka, vairocana, and essence of dry manure. The 8th, 14th, and 15th days of the waxing and waning lunar periods are taught as auspicious times for everything. The appearance of the lion should be white and excellent, its body and speech gentle and without any fault. This is the basis for the formation of flesh. As for ox or elephant, this should be the flesh of one from which musk and the like emerges, based on the single material cause of it eating a ketaka flower. Beef should be flesh that contains bile. Horse meat should come from the king among horses, whose complexion is neither white nor red. With flesh that neither changes shape nor color. Human meat must be the flesh of a 7th birth. An adept should investigate his body, speech, and mind. The food container should be a skull cup in a single piece. The ambrosia should be accomplished with the ingredients inside it. Superior, mediocre, and inferior signs, blazing, wafting, and bubbling, are explained as pertaining to the external signs. Furthermore, the point of signs having arisen is that old age is eradicated. If sounds have not been heard, there will be no accomplishment. When sounds have issued forth, one will become pure. Inner ambrosia is self-arisen. Having interrupted the flow of ambrosia dripping from the 9 orifices of the one with the bell, it fills the body like sesame seeds. Then, as the breath enters the avaduti, the circulation of the upper 6th is elicited. When Silha and Camphor abide in the center, the lower 6th circulates. This is the secret ambrosia, which vanquishes grey hair, wrinkles, and death. The practice of conduct is twofold for superior and beginner persons. The ambrosia of the outer 6 is bestowed in order for them to adhere well to the development stage and abandon fixation to caste. Beginners have both outer and inner ambrosias, whose potencies are also manifold. It renders them devoid of grey hair and destroys conceptuality. It consecrates the 4 mandalas. It is taught that one will seize the 6 which is situated at the center, 4 finger widths above the upper tip of the relative, through gaining familiarity with the 5th. Settling the breath at the location of the navel, the upper 6 is seized. Its potencies are also manifold. One will be devoid of craving and feel buoyant, just like an eagle. One will soar in the sky without plummeting. It is said that the lower 6 is situated at the center of the superior and disconnected ones. It is taught to superior persons, and its potencies are also manifold. It blocks the orifice of the one with the bell. It destroys anger, the first of the adornments. The stage of subjugating Rudra is the great charnel ground of Shetavana. Is that conceptuality is destroyed with ambrosia. The 4 enlightened activities are in common. Through the seal, desire is purified. Vajragarbha then asked, "What is meant by the sixth? What is a superior person like? How is desire purified? Tell me, O spiritual hero." The Blessed One replied, "From the four of right, left, above, and below emerges space, the fifth. The fifth's absence of nature is taught to be the sixth. Preceded by joy, supreme joy, innate joy, and the freedom from joy, great bliss, the fifth, emerges. Great bliss, being pure, devoid of nature, is the sixth, pertaining to the lower door. Therefore, even those who aspire for the sixth meditate on the complete fifth, preceded by the fourth. For example, when the power of alchemy is applied to a copper object, the copper itself becomes gold, and the gold itself comes from just copper. Likewise, the Buddha does not teach that the sixth appears from anything but the fifth. Throughout a year, month, fortnight, day, night, and hour, the sixth emerges for only a moment. It is not the purview of beginners. In the same way, a drop of ambrosia placed in a vessel of water is only experienced as water. The ambrosia is not experienced. Still, based on water, the ambrosia is also caused to be experienced. Likewise, based on the elaborate fifth, the simple sixth emerges. I have taught this in other tantras. A person who has traversed the 5 signs, the 8 flavors, or the 8 levels, and has thus become clairvoyant, has fully relinquished the action seal. One who engages in the Great Seal, adhering to a Gnosis seal, is a superior person. It is explained that he has seized the sixth. Desire is cyclic existence. Its purification is taught to be nirvana. The second secret. Next is the second secret. It is the profound meaning of dependent origination. In connection with the secret initiation, first give rise to the divine pride. Know that the dakinis are the channels. Know that the dakas are the spirit of enlightenment. Know the locations of the chakras themselves, and their related practices. The distance from the chakra of great bliss to the confluence of Brahma is 48 finger widths. Each chakra is 3 finger widths, and thus the nature of enlightened body, speech, and mind. The locations of the initiations and the chakras should be learned from a master's oral instructions. An adept must determine whether the wind of the anus is 3 or 4 finger widths from the fire of the Brahma confluence. 3 spaces is the secret location. Likewise, 3 spaces marks the chakra of awareness. 4 finger widths is the location of higher griva. 8 finger widths is the location of secret guardian of bliss. Based on the particularities of the bodily supports of male and female practitioners, 48 finger widths can be divided. In this way, at 8 finger widths is located the secret chakra. The other chakras, located within 40 finger widths, should be learned from a master's oral instructions. An adept should determine all of them as being inside or outside of the spinal column. There are also 2 types of chakra. First are the chakras themselves. Second, the channels. Chakras are also taught as 4-fold: conditional, secret, natural, and empowered. There are 2 conditional, 4 secret, 16 natural, and 2 empowered chakras. Chandali, 24, are hidden in the 4 chakras. If you turn away from the master in a gathering, spread his oral instructions or bandy them about, receive the concealed stage in order to indulge in desire, turn away from or disparage the hidden points, obstruct the secret mantra, or insult other practices, you will be reborn in the great hell of endless torment, until the 1,001 Buddhas are all gone. I have not said to keep concealed anything that is concealed in these chakras. Thus, what in other tantras has been hidden, in this tantra I explain in detail. 32, divided into left and right parts, is concealed in the amount of 64. 32, paired, is concealed in the amount of 16. 32, grouped according to cardinal and intermediate directions, is concealed in the amount of 8. The crown chakra is concealed at the crown. The secret guardian of bliss is concealed at the navel. 16, paired, is concealed in the amount of 8. 16, divided into right and left parts, is concealed in the amount of 32. 16 multiplied by 4 is concealed in the amount of 64. At the throat, in the chakra of enjoyment, one enjoys the 6 flavors. Thus, rasana is concealed in the chakra of enjoyment. The higher griva chakra is concealed at the throat. 8, divided into right and left parts, is concealed in the amount of 16. 8, with right, left, top, and bottom, is concealed in the amount of 32. 8, divided into 8 parts, with right, left, top, bottom, and the 4 intermediate directions, is concealed in the amount of 64. The fire at the Brahma confluence is concealed in fire. In the Dharmachakra at the heart, all phenomena are known. Therefore, awareness is concealed there. 64, paired, is concealed in the amount of 32. 64, grouped in 4s, is concealed in the amount of 16. 64, grouped in 8s, is concealed in the amount of 8. The wind of the anus is concealed within wind. The secret inner heat is concealed in the inner heat. On each chakra there are 4 chakras that externally clasp in the form of the life force. Even though waters, streams, and rivers are caused to flow in numerous ways, in the ocean they become one flavor. Playing at the navel is the enlightened body of great bliss, endowed with the liberations and emptinesses, and likewise the major and minor marks. At the heart is the Dharma body, likewise with the liberations and so forth. Similarly, the enjoyment body is at the throat, and the emanation body is at the chakra of great bliss. The major marks above and emptiness below is the first union of great bliss. The liberations above and the minor marks below is the second union of great bliss. The others should be learned orally. The pristine 10 powers are the 10 unions. Wind is the essence of Tara, in that the nature of breath fills the 6 channels. Fire is the nature of Pandaravasini, in that the 3 corner channels are filled with warmth. Naturally present are 8 and 5 characteristics. The 8 are the first 8 vowels, the 5 are the first 5 consonants, or the 5 suffix endings, the palace of knowledge. To the right and left of the vowel letter of higher griva are 2 syllables, at the perimeter of which are 9 petals. At the chakra of the secret guardian of bliss, in the center of the 4 neuter letters and 2 syllables, are the 37 factors of enlightenment. Next, concerning the characteristics of the channels, 72,000 external channels are located in the flesh and give rise to fat. 120 internal channels are located in the fat and give rise to marrow. 32 secret channels are located in the bones and give rise to camphor. The 3 suchness channels are located in the secret place and give rise to bliss. There are 72,000 houses. Each house has 100,000 further houses. The types of worms present in those houses are 72,000, and their number should likewise be understood as multiplied by 100,000. It is taught that in the inner and secret channels, the types of worms also correspond in number. Within the suchness channels are 9 worms that give rise to desire. With the triad of day, night, and twilight, these should be understood by the adept as 9. The camphor located in those channels is the ambrosia emergent from union. Ambrosia and so forth has already been explained. Imagine that Yam becomes a mandala of wind and Ram becomes a mandala of fire. On top of this is the syllable A, which becomes a skull cup. Then Pam becomes an 8-petaled lotus. Imagine a moon disk inside of that. Arrange the fleshes and so forth on it. Conceived as 4 finger widths or a full thumb length above the central deity, one should visualize the syllables in reverse order: blue, red, and white. Imagine a hum becoming a vajra. Above, visualize the syllable mam resting on a sun disk. This is the union of ambrosia. The 5 fleshes transform into the 5 seats. The hooks transform into the 5 ambrosias. The karmic winds fan the flames, which melts the moon, the central deity, and so forth. This is ordinary ambrosia. The 3 letters and the sun melt. This is called divine ambrosia. That which is summoned by light rays, I have taught to be wisdom ambrosia. Circumambulating 3 times enlightened body, speech, and mind is the practice of blessing. Tasting and offering the ambrosia is taught to be the practice of offering. Then comes the practice of play, which should be understood to mean the right and left. Next, in the practice of melting, the equalizing wind and the fire of inner heat transform the subtle body into the essence of the 4 wisdoms. One part, Akshobhya and Vairocana, is the flesh-eating Dakini equanimity. One part is concerted activity, which the worms, the action Dakinis, offer. One part, wind and bile, and through bile, phlegm and so forth, should be learned from a master's oral instructions. The gnosis Dakini, the channels, offers discriminating gnosis. One part, the lack of nature, with mirror-like gnosis, the Vajra Dakini offers. Winds are the Vajra Dakini, and channels are the gnosis Dakini. Camphor is the flesh-eating Dakini, and worms are the action Dakini. Furthermore, all the particulars of the Dakinis that dwell in the channels and elsewhere should be understood in the proper order. Enlightened body is the action Dakini. Enlightened speech is the flesh-eating Dakini. Enlightened mind is the gnosis Dakini. Great bliss is the Vajra Dakini. Furthermore, the particulars of the Dakinis should be understood with respect to the central chakra. Joy is the action Dakini, and supreme joy is the flesh-eating Dakini. Natural joy is the gnosis Dakini. Great bliss is the Vajra Dakini. The Daka is the moon disk, and the Dakini is the sun. The Kundali, 24, are ascertained as the 4 chakras that conceal them. The Great Bliss chakra is absorbed within the Enjoyment chakra. The Enjoyment chakra is absorbed within the Dharmachakra. As for the sequence of absorption above, everything fuses into a seminal drop. This is like how a single sun shines throughout the 10 directions, yet its profusion of rays is fused with it. It is also like the parasol of a universal monarch, which is an assembly of wooden machinery. Moreover, once absorbed into the Dharma chakra at the heart, in the center of the sun and moon disk, the size of a chickpea is a seminal drop, the size of a mustard seed. Around this, on the left and right, is a mantra garland as fine as a strand of hair. The vowels and consonants enwrap the drop like a snake. All that is the practice of the seminal drop, once the mind has become stable in this, one may meditate on the subtle practice. Imagine that the moon dissolves into the letters dissolve into the sun, and then the sun dissolves into the U vowel diacritic. The U vowel diacritic and the rest then gradually dissolve. The 5 limbs are the 5 gnosis. That is the subtle practice. Then, with one's mind on the subtle nada, one is to meditate in stages. Then comes self-aware gnosis, in which all phenomena, being empty, are of one taste. Moreover, the way in which the Dharma chakra and the emanation chakra drip and blaze should be learned from a master's oral instructions. External concepts are exertion. Internal concepts are the wind of vitality. At the central channel, where both vitality and exertion are constricted, above the nose tip of the relative, at a distance of 4 finger widths, the 3 channels converge. Since this is the location where the breath is constricted, initially one should hold it there. Then hold it in the place of emanation. Alternatively, one should understand how to count it. The third secret. Next is the third secret. It is explained as the basic character of joy in connection with the wisdom gnosis initiation. The anus quivers and the body hairs rise. 12 non-observations of the basic character of joy is taught to be its nature. With the circulation of the spirit of enlightenment, one reflects on non-conceptuality. 25 non-observations of supreme joy completely fills the secret gem. The non-observation of innate joy is taught to be the Dharma body. The interruption of the flow of bliss is the joy of cessation. Its non-observation is the 2 form Buddha bodies. Moreover, all the preliminaries, the subsidiary techniques and actual union, along with their intention, are in stages. Despite multiply radiating like a cluster of stars, they coalesce like the sun and moon. Despite coalescing like the sun and moon, they are non-dual, like an eclipse. Vajragarbha then asked, "What is a cluster of stars? What is coalescence? What is non-duality?" The Blessed One replied, "The 37 factors of enlightenment are radiated as the features of the cause. The 3 Buddha bodies and the 5 gnosis are radiated as the features of the fruition. The causes are absorbed within 7, and the fruitions are absorbed within 3. The causes dissolve into the fruitions, and the fruition should be meditated upon as twofold. All phenomena are the essence of mind. Mind is of an empty nature. All is of one taste in being empty. This is the expense devoid of accepting and rejecting." In order to fully purify desire, desire rooted in the 5 seals of enlightened body, the pair of the Great Seal and the Gnosis Seal, along with the Samaya Seal, the Dharma Seal, and the Action Seal, becomes exceedingly profound. This is great bliss, which is threefold: the natures of development and completion, and the chakra of great bliss. The first abides as the letter E at the secret nose tip. The second, which fills the emanation chakra, the awareness chakra, and the rest, abides in the secret guardian of bliss. The natural chakra of great bliss is replete with the flavor of great bliss, just as a sesame seed is with sesame butter. Like sap dripping from a cut tree branch, from that great bliss itself comes the form of hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands, and hundreds of thousands of tips of hair. First comes a cloudy form. The second resembles smoke. Third is the form of lightning. The fourth resembles a butter lamp. The sequence of all these, moreover, occurs according to the order of the emanation chakra and the rest. The emergence of the form of clouds is the sign for birth, the syllable A. That which resembles a butter lamp is taught to be the sign of Hum for death. The fifth, which resembles space, should be understood as the empty sign for the immediate state, non-duality. Moreover, vibrating and so forth should be learned from a master's oral instructions. Next, concerning the third secret, the characteristics of the 4 joys in connection with the wisdom gnosis initiation are as follows. The anus quivering, body hairs rising, and the body vibrating are the essence of joy. Reflecting on the bliss of the spirit of enlightenment circulating from the base of the secret Vajra is the essence of supreme joy. Reflecting on Vajra and lotus stoppered is the essence of innate joy. Reflecting on the bliss of having the continuity of bliss interrupted is the essence of the joy of cessation. Moreover, the characteristics of all these, such as the factor of the spirit of enlightenment and so forth, should be understood in terms of what was taught above. Joy is called luminance. Supreme joy is radiance. Extreme joy is immanence. Innate joy is clear light. The natures of the 4 gnoses are the antidotes that destroy the 4 demons. The coarse level is secretly destroyed by 4. The 4 subtle demons are naturally destroyed in the 4 chakras. The 4 joys based on the chakras themselves appear as the 4 gnoses, and therefore destroy the 4 demons. The 3 poisons based on desire are the demon of afflictions, involving 12 attributes of desire. The secret guardian of bliss destroys the afflictions. Color and shape are the demon of the aggregates. The higher Griva chakra destroys the aggregates. The 4 concealed things are the demon of the gods. The chakra of awareness destroys the demon of the gods. As for death, along with birth, the secret of their non-origination destroys the Lord of Death. The destruction of the subtle demons is similar. Concerning the 4 moments and the 4 sections, the 4 auspiciousnesses and the 4 truths, the 4 elements and the 4 mothers, the 4 pure stations and so forth, apart from the 4 gnoses themselves, there is nothing higher to be found. It is due to the particularities of concepts, and, furthermore, the particularities of inclinations, and the particularities of various religious systems, that such a plethora has been taught. A practitioner who has traversed the 3 initiations is taught to be a great, fully ordained monk, for it is taught that he will accomplish all. Vajragarbha then asked, "What is such a triple initiation, fully ordained monk like? What are his activities?" The Blessed One replied, "Fully ordained monks and so forth are threefold: pratimoksha, bodhisattva, and knowledge holder fully ordained monks. According to the sequence of possessing 1, 4, 10, or 250 vows, temporary lay vow holders, permanent lay vow holders, novice monks, and fully ordained monks, respectively, are those of pratimoksha. Those of generosity, great generosity, extreme generosity, and complete generosity are bodhisattva, temporary lay vow holders, permanent lay vow holders, novice monks, and fully ordained monks, respectively. Those who adhere to virtue upon having entered the mandala are adherents of virtue, temporary lay vow holders. With 7 they are great. Concerning the particular 3 great ones, by being in service to the virtue of the vase initiation, one is in the service of virtue, a permanent lay vow holder. Therefore, with 7 they are great. One who is in accordance with the virtue of the secret initiation is in harmony with virtue, a novice. With 7 they become great. By upholding that very virtue of wisdom gnosis, one is an upholder of virtue, a fully ordained monk. With 7 they are great. These particular 3 great ones are also the 3 non-returners, in that reverting back to karmic maturation, cyclic existence, and the lower vehicle, the 3 abandonments, are renounced by the 3 vehicles respectively, and those of the knowledge holder vehicle adhere to the fruition. A practitioner who adheres to this fruition should dwell in the apparel of a householder or a vajra holder and confer initiations, consecrations, and so forth. I have not taught that one should perform secret conduct in the apparel of all 3 vehicles. For example, copper is wrought from stone. Based on copper, one can enjoy the appearance of gold. When there is copper, there is no stone. By becoming golden, stone no longer appears. The Buddha has not taught that a knowledge holder, fully ordained monk, should embody both pratimoksha and bodhisattva vows. The 4th secret. Next is the 4th secret related to the 4th initiation. Here one should meditate, having overcome the perpetually shifting mind itself, as well as its attendant objects of meditation, the forms and so forth that it latches onto. Having fully relinquished all reference points of apprehended objects and apprehending subjects, since the nature of mind is inconceivable, one should not think of anything whatsoever. When the nature of mind is submerged within the empty, and the empty is well submerged within the mind, concepts of empty, not empty, and so forth are destroyed, leaving the mind like the sky. There does not exist a support. There is nothing supported. Even the matchless state does not exist. The perfected presence of precisely that is innate, non-dual awareness. The final teaching. Next, the Blessed One spoke on resolving. Having meditated authentically on the Great Seal, without understanding that the wrathful dances and the seals are merely an illusory display, one will be born as a haughty spirit, one of the kings of the 8 charnel grounds, devoid of compassion, an eater of flesh and blood. If one enters the outer, inner, concealed, and ultimate mandalas and obtains initiation, one must meditate, recite, and so forth, lest one might obstruct and denigrate the secret mantra. Disparaging any spiritual practice, ridiculing Vajra siblings, disciples with shared tantric commitments, breaking the root and branch Samaya vows, cursing the Lama, by the fruition of these one will be born as a hell being in endless torment. I have explained that not to understand the significance of the channel chakras of profound interdependent origination is to straddle a blade 16 finger widths long. If one does not understand the hidden secret, through the threefold non-observation of the concealed, one will be born below as a hell being. As the wheel of a cart revolves, so one will revolve due to the maturation of karma. Through knowing it, the very meaning of the view, one's own self-awareness, whatever bliss is desired, self-awareness, whatever illusory display is desired, self-awareness like a crystal orb, basic space and gnosis and so forth is thus resolved. The meaning of Tantra is threefold. The chakra of great bliss is the causal Tantra. The secret nose tip is the means Tantra. The secret guardian of bliss is the fruitional Tantra. The vase is taught to be the causal Tantra. The secret is the means Tantra. The wisdom gnosis is the fruitional Tantra. Birth is taught to be the causal Tantra. Death is taught to be the means Tantra. The intermediate state is the fruitional Tantra. Tantra means continuum. Its king, which teaches secrets, has taught secrets as fourfold. The vase initiation is secret for beginners. At the time of the vase initiation, the secret initiation is secret. Wisdom gnosis is secret in the secret initiation. Self-awareness is secret in the wisdom gnosis initiation. The secret chakra is the fourth secret. Then the Bodhisattva Vajragarbha and an assembly of Dakinis, equal in number to the atoms in Mount Meru, circumambulated the Blessed One 3 times and disappeared. This concludes the glorious King of Tantras that resolves all secrets.